Sometimes when I go for my walks, I just get struck with so much inspiration. That's where these videos come from. And sometimes so much so that, like, I have to take a minute to slow down and really check in with what it is I even want to express, because it all sometimes wants to come flooding out. And I'll be honest, when I make these videos, sometimes I do make a couple and stop them midway because I'm like, what are you rambling on about, Crystal? But it's expression, really. Does it have to always make sense? I guess the biggest thing on my mind this morning is catching myself falling back into old patterns. And it wasn't what I expected either. I mean, I thought the old patterns that might have sprung up would have been, you know, falling back into, like, you know, I don't know, bad eating habits or whatnot. Sleeping in all the time or being lazy. I don't know. Okay, there I go. Catching it. Being lazy. These are some of the judgments I have on myself. And what I caught today was this. Okay, so I've been experiencing like a kind of a disconnect. I mean, we go up and down with our feeling of connection. It's very natural. It's actually something that we should really honor, because I'll tell you from experience that I used to think I was fucking up. I was like, you're doing something wrong. You lost it. You're not connected. I'd be judging myself because I wouldn't be connected all the time. And honestly, it's not meant to be that way. Like, you know, like, I mean, it is meant to be that way, but not so, like, in your face. Like, that's kind of what I was, I guess, gravitating towards, which is something else I caught checking in with myself over time. So, but this morning and this week, when I found myself analyzing, or maybe taking the time to fill my cup and to give myself what I need from going through, you know, a move and all that entails. So while I was going through the process of giving back to myself, the unfolding of the situation was truly recognizing that I have this dialogue within that is always nudging me to be productive, and productive in a physical way. And a lot of the times, I guess, making sure that the production is not selfish either, that it is helpful to others in my life or others in the community. So it's almost like this underlying feeling of whenever I get into the motions of giving to myself, I sometimes get slowed down by the feeling of, wait a minute, you did too much for yourself. Like, slow down, too much for yourself. Like, you got to go back and do more at home, or do more to make more money. Like, okay, so we just moved, right? And yeah, moving is expensive, you know. Like, it really takes a lot of planning and organizing. And anyways, the move itself prompted a lot of things to be a little bit not so stable, I guess. I don't want to call them unstable, but just not as stable in terms of, you know, this gets paid, that gets paid, this comes in, that goes out. So there was a lot of like, woo, because there was expenses in and out. And anyways, so there can sometimes, ooh, the light is playing funny things with me. This, I guess, underlying nagging feeling, maybe not for everybody, but for me, that's that needs stability with their finances, so that this doesn't go on too much, like the thoughts. But I don't actually need it. And I recognize that was something that really helped me get through the move. Was a lot of the times I was thinking, oh God, I better go check the budget. I better go check all these things. Check. Make sure everything's going to work out. But I stopped every single time, almost, probably every time, and told myself, No. Everything is always working out for me. Everything is going to fall into place. And I mean, we don't put it like such a blind faith in it that we do nothing. But I put like that faith in motion, and then I went about my day. But I went about my day in a slow, productive, balanced way of giving to myself, giving to the move, giving to myself, giving to my family and my friends and my community and so the move was so balanced and as I said in my previous video, just a calm to it. And then after the move, I'm catching those patterns. But the cool part is I'm catching them, right? I'm catching them. With the stillness and the slowness, I'm catching the pattern of when I wake up in the morning and I fill my bucket first, you know, there's this voice that comes in sometimes and says, hey, don't get too much to yourself. Make sure you go be very productive. And then I'll slam out an hour or two, like in a way that's almost like I don't know, it's not as like it's not as fulfilling feeling like I'm doing it in a time crunch, but I will say sometimes it can be fulfilling only because I'm really good at it, because I've been such a procrastinator in my past that I was notorious for getting things done under the gun. Like it was like almost like I knew I might as well just wait till the last minute because I'm gonna get enough motivation to do it, because there's like shit or get off the pot moment. But where I'm leading to is that the catching of the thoughts has come to this resolution that I actually can stay in a state of giving to myself, in a state of flow, in a state of harmony, like to the much as much as a person can be with the motions of their day, but in a way that when I'm catching them, I can. Oh, it's just sometimes I draw a little blank on what I'm talking about because nature is so beautiful. And that's just part of it. I used to get really beat up about this stuff too. I'd stop the video, like look, 7 minutes in and I want to stop the video because I lost my train of thought because of whatever. But it's okay. I want to be honest with it in this moment and authentic and show this part of myself that it's part of what has held me back from putting myself out there in the past is I can be really on a tangent sometimes and then all of a sudden lose it. And I haven't got it all figured out. And I don't know if I'm supposed to change it. And here I am switching gears in the moment because, you know, I think honest reflection in the moment is what kind of helps us if we have the space to do it. And recognizing that when we're calm, innate wisdom and innate knowledge, all that comes flooding back. And actually, I'm recognizing that that's what I was trying to lead to with this whole story to begin with. I see where I was going with what I was talking about. It was recognizing that in this move, during the move itself, I allowed and I trusted and I put aside thoughts because I knew that innate wisdom can only come through when we're in our calm state. And that's actually why simplicity and less action can yield more results. Sounds like cuckoo, right? But honestly, you can go about your day making more work for yourself with some of your own actions, or you could just be in the state of flow and know exactly what you're supposed to do. In each moment, you're there. Even with this video, look, it took me this long to kind of drop in the state of flow of what I was talking about again. But that is why I'm seeing giving to myself more and filling my cup up more and allowing the calm moments is actually allowing more productivity to come out. Because then in the small moments, I just know exactly what to do. Or I'll feel really good about doing something as I'm flowing throughout my day. Instead of going, oh shit, I just spent 4 hours of myself and didn't do anything, and then I better cram in an hour or two before the family gets home so that I look like I was productive, and then I feel better about myself because, oh, I'm not working as many hours as everybody else because my husband's working full-time, my kids are going to school, and I'm home holding down the fort and creating more abundance and opportunity for us for our future so that, you know, we can keep expanding. And that's fucking powerful. Like, why am I not counting that as being, you know, a great piece of the puzzle? Like, for when I want to make sure that the scales are balanced and that I am, you know, I could like that, so I could tell that nagging voice to shut the hell up when it tells me, Crystal, did you do enough? Are you giving enough? Are you being enough? Because that's what my ego sounds like. He's always telling me, or he or she, it is kind of pushing me at times to check in, which is, you know, which is great in the grand scheme of things, because I want to be a good person. I want to make sure that, you know, what I give is what I get, and what I get is what I give, and but at the same time, I don't need that to be the be-all end-all of my life. And that was actually great to hear that come out. This is what healing is. For some people who ask me sometimes, this is what healing is. It's just being with your experience, trying things out, expressing in different ways, and then having these moments of just, like, your intuition is not long thought out processes or dialogues. Like, maybe it is for some, but for a lot of what I've experienced and what I've heard others experience is your innate wisdom, and your knowing is a flash, and it's so sometimes powerful. It's just, it doesn't need anything else. It just needs space for you to hear and recognize the signals, the signs. And to slow down and enjoy the journey, because the journey is the destination. We're already here. This is where our souls want it to be, here and now, wherever you are, wherever I am. And I always try to leave these conversations, these vlogs, blogs, with something I can give away to others. And sometimes it's a giveaway to myself, really. I go back and I reflect on these videos and I hear something or I sense something. And so whether or not it helps anybody else, it sure as hell helps me. So